So with the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. returning to the MCU as none other than Doctor Doom, people got super excited. And of course, there was quite a bit of a division. For the most part, there was more excitement than anything else. And there was a lot of claims that Marvel Studios had been desperate because pretty much every single movie, with the exception of, let's say, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine recently, which has made over $1 billion, has been lacking of quality. And Robert Downey Jr. is the one thing that the MCU desperately needed to get Marvel fans back in their good graces. So I have a report here that talks about how Robert Downey Jr. revealed how he got his role of Doctor Doom and how he came to be. Now, of course, naturally, there's been a lot of speculation that maybe Robert Downey Jr. is playing a variant of Iron Man, Tony Stark, who becomes Doctor Doom, but all that stuff has been completely denied and just pushed over because he is playing Doctor Doom. He is confirmed to be actual Doctor Doom. And how they're going to go about to make him look like Doctor Doom, whereas oh my God, take a sip every time I say Doctor Doom, whereas the rest of the Avengers characters, let's say, if they see him, they don't want to they shouldn't have to recognize him as Tony Stark. So they're going to have to make him look a little different. And if you look back into like the old golden age and silver age of comic books, Marvel Comics, Doctor Doom kind of looks like a typical average kind of white guy. So just a little bit of long brown hair with a little scarring on his face, which is part of the reason why Doctor Doom wears a suit of armor and a mask and a hood in the first place. Because to go back into his story, this video would be way too long, but just to make it short, Doctor Doom's look and appearance kind of personifies that of death and a person who wears armor. And because Doctor Doom is a perfectionist and cares about his looks and he has that gigantic ego, he wears a mask to cover his scarring. And that's part of the reason why he looks the way he does. And the scarring is really not all that serious. It's just on his cheek. It's like a little small scar. At least that's how it was in the original comics. But Doctor Doom is a well-known villain who's super powerful, who is both a man of science and magic, and he has proven himself to be a formidable foe to the Avengers and many other superheroes like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, of course, Iron Man, and of course, the Fantastic Four, Reed Richards as well, who is well known to be the arch nemesis of Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four. So we're going to read about how Robert Downey Jr. got his role of Doctor Doom, and it has been more than 3 weeks since the MCU's official announcement about Robert Downey Jr.'s return to the franchise at this year's SDCC, and now the sympathizer actor is speaking about how his casting as Doctor Doom happened. Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom and MCU return plans began a year ago. So Downey Jr. revealed in a recent interview that the plans for the MCU return to depict Doctor Doom started a year ago. Previously, Dr. Downey Jr., who won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his outing as Louis Strauss in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, great movie, portrayed Tony Stark, Iron Man in the franchise for over a decade. During his appearance on the Hollywood Reporters Awards Chatter podcast, Downey Jr. explained that the idea of his return to the MCU was conceptualized about a year ago following a meeting between him, his wife, Susan Downey, and the MCU boss, Kevin Feige, about how he could have been of service to what's going on in the parks and all their location-based energy. And if you don't know, Robert Downey Jr. and Kevin Feige are real close friends. Like, they really do keep in contact very frequently, and it's no surprise that they've been keeping in contact for such a long time, especially since Endgame. And we haven't seen Robert Downey Jr. return to a Marvel movie in about 5 years now in the time of me recording this video. So if he's set to appear in Fantastic Four next year, then it would have been about 6 years since then. So far, it's rumored that he'd be in Fantastic Four. Maybe he could make a small cameo appearance towards the end of the movie or so. But I think he would fit really well, and of course in the Avengers Doomsday, and of course Avengers Secret Wars. But I really would want to see him return in the Fantastic Four First Steps, and that's what the new Fantastic Four movie is called. So Downey Jr. recalled and said, and Susan and I were sitting down with Feige at one point, and he said, "It just keeps occurring to me that if you were to come back," and Susan was like, wait, come back as what? And then we both realized over time that it was another thing that just disproves any doubt about anyone could ever have about that guy. He's a very sophisticated, creative thinker about how can we not go backwards? How can we not disappoint expectations? How can we continue to beat expectations? And he brought up Victor Von Doom, and I looked into the character and I was like, wow. And later on he goes, let's get Victor Von Doom right. Let's get that right. And Downey Jr. subsequently told Feige that he wanted to talk to Bob Iger about everything. The meeting supposedly went well, as Downey Jr. revealed that the Disney CEO liked the idea of his return. We go to Iger's pad and we sit down and start saying, I just really want to be. And he goes, I like it. I was like, he likes it, Downey Jr. said. Avengers Doomsday debuts in theaters May 2026, but before that, we might get a glimpse of Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four First Steps, which comes out July 25th, 2025. That's right around the corner next year. And speaking of which, actually, the Fantastic Four has already begun filming. So if you actually go now on the internet, you can actually see them actually suiting up the actor that's playing the Thing. And I'm so glad that they're not going the CGI route. It's an actual practical costume, just like it was in 2005's Fantastic Four movie. And look, they're putting in the Thing head, and they got the padding for the body, of course, the gloves. It looks fantastic. And I think I gotta say, it is the most accurate looking Thing ever. Because in the original Golden Age, Silver Age of Fantastic Four comic books, the Thing had like these massive rock brows that's going across his head right there, his forehead. And he looks extremely comic book accurate. And I love that they're capturing the 60s look. So just kind of figured I'd throw that in there since we're talking about Doctor Doom. So that's really exciting and really cool. I know that maybe this article and this conversation between Robert Downey Jr., Kevin Feige, and Iger may have seemed tamed, and a lot of things have been probably pulled out and a lot of details are clearly missing. But let's just say that I think it involved a paper with a bunch of zeros. And I'm just saying, because there are reports that Downey Jr. is returning and he's going to be paid about $100 million. It's crazy to believe that, I know, but not exactly too crazy, because in Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, he got paid out $75 million each, I think, from what I know, from what I can recall. But he's being paid even more to come back, and he's the highest paid actor out of all Marvel actors there has ever been, and it's just crazy. But it's no wonder he came back gladly, because they gave him an offer that he couldn't refuse. What are your thoughts about Robert Downey Jr. returning to the MCU, but as an entirely different character? Comment down below your thoughts and questions and concerns. And as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so you all don't miss anything. Dislike the video if you did, and I'll see you all in the next comic panel.